Welcome back to the Delaware Way. In a recent report, not only were foreclosures in the state of Delaware up, it was #1 in the country when it came to foreclosures. So the question is, what is going on? To try to answer those questions, Lynette Scott is the Delaware Real Estate Commissioner. Thank you so much for being here. Those figures that I just said, up 37%,
Yes.
worst in the country when it comes to foreclosures, they're accurate?
Well, we don't know for sure because a lot of the foreclosure information, it may be pre-foreclosure, it may be stayed, so it's sort of hard to really get a grasp of it. We have seen those numbers, and of course the concern is that they probably are accurate, and the reason being is because the jobs are leaving Delaware.
Right, so what your explanation is that that's just a snapshot of a certain time period. It might not be the case today, but there was a point recently where that was true.
Yes, because of the fact that jobs are leaving Delaware. So of course, if you don't have a job, then you don't have an opportunity to purchase a home. You don't have an opportunity to keep your home. And there's a large amount, of course, of foreclosures due to medical issues, due to the economy, as far as job opportunities, and divorce.
It really is a story that kind of laid under the surface, and one of the reasons it was masked is because everybody heard about this housing boom down along the southern beaches of Rehoboth and Dewey and Bethany Beach, and that there was this influx of especially retired companies buying up houses. So that didn't help the entire state, I would imagine.
No, it didn't, because those people that came in weren't employed. They were retirees that had a higher tax distressful situation in New Jersey and New York. Of course, their taxes, property taxes are higher. So they bought down in the 55 and over communities for retirement purposes. We don't have a sales tax. And so in Sussex County, the taxes, property taxes definitely are lower.
So what you're saying is even though all these people are coming here, they're coming because of the lower tax rates, and they're coming here because they get certain breaks for being senior citizens and for being retired, and yet they're not contributing elsewhere to the economy except for maybe going out to dinner at night.
Pretty much so. And it's basic down in Sussex County. We're having a harder problem in the Kent County area. Kent County, because of the boom there, they had homes that, of course, people purchased that maybe shouldn't have because of them recalculating that interest rates now, and they're not being able to get those houses because the value of the properties have decreased so drastically. So the mortgages are not they're not refinancing those mortgages. But these are not new properties that are being foreclosed on. They were
and
part
slow
of
it down. You can't expect the banks to keep this debt forever.
So that's not new. They're not new properties. They were from the original bust. And so the banks basically were just holding them, and because we slowed it down because of the programs, now this is coming to fruition, so to speak.
So this is really a symptom of a much bigger problem. What you're looking at is an economy that it's failing, or at least in a downturn in Delaware, and this is just a symptom of that.
Pretty much.
So how do you, can you fight the foreclosures? Can you fix that problem if you don't get the jobs?
It's difficult. But what I'm finding is that there's not just foreclosures, we also have a program that's a short sale program. So the banks are allowing people to put their houses on the market and sell them at the rate or at the value that is current value. So they're forgiven maybe, because most of them are under water, so they're forgiving that balance. And then the government came in, the federal government came in and said, well, if you bank forgive them that balance, we will forgive them that tax ramification. And so that is about to expire again in 2016, which it did. And so we're hoping that the Congress will put that back into place so that people won't have that additional tax burden on them for selling their house and not allowing it to go to foreclosure.
But these all sound like short-term remedies. I guess the long-term fix is to get jobs to come into the state. And so things like DuPont and some of the credit card companies that left, that's what hurt.
It really
all right,
does.
well, it's a story that we need to stay on.
Yes,
because
definitely.
it seems like it's one of the biggest problems in the state, and I really appreciate you coming in.
My pleasure.
To talk about it. Please come back. Lynette Scott is the Delaware Real Estate Commissioner. When we come back, human trafficking, it's a bigger problem in Delaware than you are probably aware of. We'll talk about that when the Delaware Way continues.